En junker red ved juletid.
Ching chang ching lutilej.
Omkring ham dannede sneen hvid.
Ching chang ching lutilej.
Welcome to the Topic of the Episode show. This is the weekly topic where we tell you a topic and then you discuss what your favorites of that are, and we discuss your favorites back at you.
Yeah, and let you know what other people think, what we think, what we were able to find when we were researching this week.
Because top 10 lists are great, but they're not as interactive.
Yeah, it's also really fun to be like, remember what? Oh, what was that one? And that's a fun interaction that we like to have with you guys.
Definitely.
So this week we're talking about single screen experiences,
not to be confused with like co-op split screen experiences.
Right,
we mean a level of a game, like the not necessarily the entire game, but each level or section. There's one screen. There's no scrolling between the screens, and it's static. Yes.
So. Most of the first arcade games, like if you look at the Nintendo Black Box stuff, you know, you've got like the Mario Brothers and the Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong Jr. was one of the first games that I had on my Nintendo, and I played the heck out of it. I love that game, especially the third stage with all the electricity and stuff. That stage is cool.
I don't know if I ever got past that third stage.
Oh, I did, because and then after that you've got birds flying down, and you unlock your dad and you catch him, which is just physically, I mean, he dropped like 40 feet. I'm sorry, if Mario died, then, you know, your dad squished you.
Yeah.
That's canon.
I think Donkey Kong, to me, is probably one of the best examples of this. It's a single screen. You have to go through specific obstacles. There's a lot of early games that were single screen because of the limitation.
Yeah, it was easier to create a static screen and then just have sprites interacting on that background. And in our comments on this, we had Chris White said he was always partial to Dig Dug.
Yeah,
Dig Dug is a fantastic game. I love when you're able to like expand somebody and then run away because, you know, somebody else is coming for you or whatever. That's just fun. There's a lot of risk reward in Dig Dug that works really well.
Yeah, I think Pac-Man's another great example of this.
Classic.
Self-contained, single screen, and simple enough that it didn't need multiple screens. And in fact, if you go off one side, you end up on the other side.
Yeah.
So it's fun, and I think that a lot of these, they don't get enough love. Some of them are more on the educational point of this. Erica mentioned Spellevator, which I would agree. Spellevator, Math Blaster, Number Muncher. There's a lot of these single screen games that they get kids to really into specific, learning about a specific thing. And I forgot to get the name of it. Someone on my Facebook mentioned separately from this conversation that he got a game for his daughter that's a video game on PC, but it basically is showing coding. And I got to see which game it is, because there's a few that are kind of doing that. But it was kind of this click block kind of like thing that she was kind of dragging and dropping blocks and learning code logic.
You set up code logic.
Yeah,
that's pretty fun.
It's really cool. You can teach kids use video games to your advantage to teach kids these ideas, and it's great. I guess it's not single screen, but like Carmen Sandiego is another one of my favorites.
I would say Carmen Sandiego is, because there's no scrolling. You're playing one screen at a time. You're given the information on this screen, and Where in Time was my favorite one.
Yeah.
And just being able to learn about all this stuff, and it's. And I mean, a lot of adventure games are single screen at a time too. Like, you're going to new areas or whatever, but those are almost single screen experiences too.
Almost.
And then one of the other ones that I really enjoyed was Bubble Bobble.
Yeah.
that is unquestionably a single screen experience, and you're beating everything on this one screen.
Yeah.
Can I have Binding of Isaac?
If you have Binding of Isaac.
Oh no, because there's rooms that are 2 screens wide.
Oh,
can't have it.
I was gonna say.
Darn it.
I was gonna say if we get into ones where you're all interacting on this one screen, and then you go to another screen that's technically another section of the game, like you would open it up to games like King's Quest and others where what you're doing in one screen affects what you did in the other screens.
What about that Honeybee game that you played? That's a single screen thing.
Yeah,
that giant arcade. Yeah,
Killer Queen is another one that I was going to mention. So Killer Queen, a retro game made a couple years ago, single screen. technically two screens because, well, no, it's just two screens of the same thing because you're watching the screen, but it's a duplication of the screen. So
Right.
It's one screen, 5-on-5 gaming. So
It's pretty cool.
Towerfall is another.
Towerfall
great
is
one
an
as well.
excellent recent addition. Yeah.
And I would throw in Hearthstone. Technically, you have one screen until you're done with that player, and then you go on to another one. Technically, it's a single screen experience, and I'd say it's one of my favorites that I've played in quite a while.
Ugh. All right. Well, he made me admit that one. So see how far in the comments you can bend the rules to break it, and tell us what your single screen experience is.
Go for it.
And we will discuss that next week.
Have a good one.
Bye. Thanks for watching This Week in Our Collective Heads. Subscribe over here and click the bell, and that way you'll know about any new videos that we put up, because we put up a lot of gameplay, a lot of stories from games and stuff like that, and gameplay is down here.
Yeah, and you got more editorials and news stuff down here. Check it out.